Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Sports. For this week's World Rankings preview, three teams can go number one come Monday, should the right results happen for the various teams. So, a bit of a race on to see who's going to finish at number one in the world. It's really the Springboks to lose, to be honest, because if they were to win the next two games, they would finish number one. And they should win the next two games. As a Springbok fan, going into this end of year series, 3 out of 3, I think, was the expectation, and nothing has really changed, especially seeing the side that Rassie Erasmus has picked to face England. However, a chance for New Zealand this weekend to go back to number one since the first time since 2019, that semi-final against England. Incredible to think that there's been an entire 4-year cycle and New Zealand have not been to number one in the world. This is the side that has got the record number of weeks and at number one. So, and an opportunity for Ireland as well to go back to number one, assuming that there are results that go their way. Argentina, by the way, could go up to as high as third. What a statement that would be by Felipe Contepone's men if they were to get that victory tonight in Dublin. Before we look at the exact permutations, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. All 20 teams besides Samoa in the top 20 are in action this weekend, so there could be a lot of movement. So South Africa, New Zealand, and Ireland could all finish the weekend as the number one ranked team in the world. South Africa, however, are guaranteed to stay on top if they beat England tomorrow. However, New Zealand will replace South Africa at number one if they beat France at Stade de France and the Springboks fail to win. So if the Springboks draw tomorrow and New Zealand beat France, then they will go up to the top of the rankings. In order for Ireland to return to number one, they will need to beat Argentina tonight, as well as hope that South Africa and New Zealand both lose, in which case they'll go back up to number one. However, back-to-back home defeats for Ireland will see them fall another place to fourth place if the margin is by more than 15 points and both South Africa and New Zealand are victorious. In this scenario, Argentina, by the way, would climb 2 places into third and make up the first all-Southern Hemisphere top 3 since the 8th of November 2021, when it was New Zealand, South Africa, and Australia in that top 3. South Africa was one at the time. Ireland will drop 2 places for the second week running to 5th if they lose by more than 15 points, and France repeats their victory last time they played against New Zealand. This is regardless of what happens between England and South Africa. Scotland are unable to improve on their rating, but they beat Portugal because there is a 13.8 difference between the two, whilst England cannot go any higher even if they beat South Africa by more than 15 points, as the gap between themselves and a beaten France or Argentina is too large to overcome, so no movement available for Steve Borthwick's men. However, Australia's movement up the table could continue this weekend if they beat Wales by more than 15 points and England lose by the same margin. Wallabies would then go above England into 7th, and they could actually go up into 6th if Scotland failed to beat Portugal on Sunday. It would be 8th for England in this scenario, which would be an all-time low for them, and pressure would really mount on Steve Borthwick if they were to do that. If we look at Italy, for example, they can recover one of the 2 places they lost last weekend. They need to beat Georgia and hope that Fiji slip up against Spain, which I don't see happen. However, a record 11 straight defeat for Wales will see them drop to an all-time low of 12th if Georgia avoid defeat in Italy. Georgia can enter the top 10 for the first time ever with a win over Scotland if Japan lose to Uruguay. Don't really see it happening. A draw for Japan would need Portugal to win by more than 15 points to go to 14th. And with Portugal can't lose any points in defeat, they could still slip from 15th if Spain were to beat Fiji or USA were to beat Tonga by more than 15 points. A defeat like that would see Tonga fall down to 19th place. And there are a couple of other games in and around there. In terms of your referees for this weekend, which is always included, Paul Williams tonight will take charge of Ireland versus Argentina, the New Zealander. Then tomorrow we've got Tahito Namakawa, who will referee Scotland versus Portugal. The Irish Andrew Brace will take charge of England versus South Africa. Nika Amashikeli will take charge of France versus New Zealand, probably the game of the weekend. Ben O'Keefe will referee Italy versus Georgia. On Sunday, James Dolman will referee Wales versus Australia. And the only South African, by the way, in action this weekend is Morne Ferreira, who will referee Spain versus Fiji. And Holly Davidson, by the way, is from the female referee point of view, will continue her rise as she referees Tonga this weekend. And yeah, very good to see how that she's still getting international games. Those are the World Rankings preview. To be honest, as I said, it is the South Africa's top spot to lose. I'm very interested to see what happens in that France versus New Zealand game. And I'd love to see Argentina give Ireland a real go this weekend. They must feel so much confidence off the back of last week. They beat Australia. They beat South Africa this year. If they'll need the perfect performance to do it, but the perfect performance from Argentina can beat this Irish side if the Irish Ireland are as sloppy as they were last week, which I don't expect them to be. So it should be a good game tonight. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Smash the like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve, and I'll chat to you soon.